Hello and welcome. What the fuck? We'll just restart that. Blip, 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 blip. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Three's a Crime, a true crime podcast. I'm Tori.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Lindsey.
And that's our intro.
Here we are professional podcasters.
We're podcasters, bitches.
Hey.
So
Smoke weed every day.
love that. Oh my god. News. I feel like, first of all, Hunt a Killer.
Hunt a Killer is an immersive murder mystery game told over the course of 6 episodes, or boxes. Each box is filled with different clues and physical items, such as autopsy reports, witness statements, and more. You'll use these clues to solve the ongoing murder mystery. In the final episode, you'll be able to catch the killer. And if you get stuck on a box, you can always join one of their episode-specific Facebook groups or forums to get help. They actually highly encourage you to join their Facebook groups. They have over 60,000 subscribers, and their online community is very active, meaning that you'll always be able to get help when you need it.
Exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
So we should have an affiliate code tomorrow.
To
And
save.
check out, keep an eye on our Instagram. We'll get
Yeah,
that
it'll be on
on there
Instagram.
too for sure.
I think we
for sure.
two for sure.
Two for
Two
sure.
for sure. I think
2 for sure, 3's a crime. And that's why they pay me the no bucks.
Yes.
The cool thing is you can play with your friends or you
Mhm.
can play by yourself.
Yeah.
So if you just want to do it
Play
because
You play
you
it by
know
yourself.
the people in your life, yeah, you can. It said play by yourself, not with yourself.
They're
You can do
different.
both.
This is
It
different.
depends on
Both
you
at
can
the
do
same
both.
time.
Yeah,
Who you're
both at the
hunting.
same time.
You can get in the mindset.
But it gives you the opportunity to solve the crime.
Well, it gives you like a little questionnaire kind of thing that says like, are you wanting to do this by yourself, with a couple, with friends, whatever? And then one of the options was, if you get stuck, are you going to A, give up and quit, B, ask the Facebook community, or C, like knuckle down and really figure it out like a true detective? And
Oh,
I was
I'm
like,
a knuckle down,
See,
man.
I'm gonna try and be that, but it said to Anist honestly. Answer honestly.
Honest.
So Lindsay felt compelled.
I felt the urge to grab, we have oracle cards.
This is a very oracle-y household.
It is.
Very
The
woo-woo. I love it.
Yes, very woo-woo crystals.
Crystals, oracle cards, tarot cards.
So I'm using the Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland.
And Surrender to the Divine, full moon. Literally flew out.
Yeah, it literally flew onto the floor.
It did. And here's the first sentence. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind.
It brings only one to mind.
Agreed.
But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change, and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Whew.
That and the word climax in the same. I don't like that. Explosion and climax don't go together. And they do go together, and I hate it. Sorry.
I was gonna say you want that to happen in a good explosion.
Yeah, good explosion.
Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface. no matter when in the moon cycle you pull this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you will find whether or not your wishes are going to come true. And then it's like attuned to the moon is you are getting the answers you need, and then additional meanings is a wish you made may be about to come true. It's make or break time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe deep and stay calm.
I'm an old lady and I want to tell those kids outside to be
Don't
quiet
you know
and
we're
go home.
recording a fucking podcast?
know.
You
Little
little
goddamn
bastards.
devils.
Hey, Oma said fudging.
Sorry, Oma.
Oma.
We won't remember.
I want to point out that we have a puppy in the room.
Yes.
So she's asleep right now, but if she cries randomly, I'll do my best to have it not blow your ears out, but I'm probably, yeah. And there are children across the street.
Yeah.
So
These are things that we do not have control
we don't
over.
have control over. Don't yell at us.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry.
Oh, we need to mention that Oma became one of our patrons.
Yes.
That Emily doesn't know how to work the
So,
internet. But
here's the
despite
thing.
being the youngest one of
Here's
all of
the
us.
thing. Here's the thing. First of all, thank you for reading that nice
Yes.
card.
Yeah.
So let's all take a deep breath. It told us to. Okay. Oma is our patron. She's a bad
Oma.
bitch. Okay, so here's the thing. Oma doesn't know how to use the internet either. So she called
God
me and
bless.
FaceTimed me, and she was like, I was on my phone doing it because she knew that she wanted to be a patron. And then after already signing up, I realized that I was logged in to Podbean because that's what we use to produce all the episodes. And so it says that we're giving money to our own episode and we're not.
That's
But
true.
Oma, it's Oma's debit card.
Oma.
Thank you,
bless.
Oma.
Thank you, Oma.
Thank you, Oma.
She's like,
I think once a week we need to have an update on the plant.
Yeah.
The infamous.
I did forget to tell you in the photo that you posted. It is growing happily now, and she has had to cut little holes in the masks for all the little new growth.
Nice.
So instead of like adjusting it, she's got these little cuts all in it.
So I think we need an updated photo of that.
I will
Aw.
ask her for one. I usually have to FaceTime her and then screenshot it because I don't think she knows how to take a picture. And she's gonna be on the show.
Very
She's
exciting.
she's gonna come say hi. I forced her to do it. So thanks to our second patron.
Yay!
We need a third one now. Maybe someone
please,
who
somebody.
not biologically programmed to love us.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, we should also say where we got our lunch.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. We went to Root, spelled R-U-T, with a little.
With a little
Mark.
umlauts.
They are a vegetarian vegan restaurant here locally in Spokane, and it was phenomenal.
Did you just
We-
get a text from Carol Baskin?
No. We all got the not so chicken sandwich.
And it was really fucking good.
It was
So
so
good.
good.
Straight up tasted like chicken.
The
Yeah.
pickles on their sandwiches
They're
are
definitely
amazing.
house-made pickles for
Yeah.
sure.
And an amazing lavender lemonade. Earlier this week, you guys may have noticed that we posted a picture of a missing person in our local area. And since looking up some information about him, we learned that there are actually 3 different people that are all missing from this area, Stevens County. So the person that we posted the picture of, Geyer, he's 61. He also goes by the nickname of Jake, is a white male who went missing on Sunday, November 15th of 2020. His vehicle was located on Friday, 11/20, at a family friend's property in Tooele, where he had been working, but there was no sign of Guy. The vehicle was left on the property and the keys were inside the vehicle. The house was unlocked and then all of his tools were inside. So, like, that's super suspicious. He doesn't have a history of dementia, and his daughter has said that it's really out of character for him to be away. His phone had been off for days, and now I guess his mailbox is completely full. So, like, you can't even, just super weird that he's gone. The other person, one of the other people, Doyle Putnam, who is, I think, 65, disappeared from Ford, Washington. He is also a white male who went missing back in August of 2020. His younger brother picked him up from a Spokane hospital where he had just had neck surgery.
Oh.
Yeah. And so he was in really fragile health. He missed an appointment for like a follow-up neck surgery that was a few days later. And so they knew something was really wrong. Deputies have come forward and said that they found some of Doyle's belongings, but they haven't said where or what they found, and that's just to protect the integrity of the investigation. But his younger brother believes that he may have been robbed, and because of his health issues, it wouldn't have taken very much to do him harm. Like if somebody, like,
He's, like,
you know,
really
even
vulnerable
smacked
state,
him on
yeah.
the head, you know, he just
Is it
had
a
neck surgery.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, and the risk for infection and
Yeah,
ugh.
yeah, it's no bueno. And then the third person, Melinda Lopez, is 35. She's been missing, and this is interesting too because some reports say that she was last seen in Newport, Washington, and then some say that she was last seen in Ponderay County. So Ford, Washington, Chewelah, and Newport are all part of Stevens County. But she's been missing since November. She was officially reported missing on December 18th, but no one in her family had heard from her for weeks before that. One of the articles that I read said that her mother is suspicious of the timeline, saying that she was last seen in Ponderay. She didn't believe that. Her mother also learned of a text message that Melinda apparently sent shortly before disappearing, essentially stating that she was fearful for her life and that if something happened to her, it was not an accident.
Oof.
So sadly, Melinda's mother believes that she is most likely deceased. And all of the family said that none of these people would have missed Thanksgiving and Christmas. Melinda's mom said that she would never have missed her birthday. So if you have any information about the whereabouts of Geyer, who also goes by Jake, Doyle Putnam, or Melinda Lopez, please call the Stevens County Sheriff's Office at 509-684-5296. Again, that's the Stevens County Sheriff's Office at 509-684-5296. I mean, it's
So
super weird.
It's like
that-
farm country. It's a little different than here.
Right.
It's like
It's
Chewelah like
more-
over an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah, much more rural.
Yes.
Rural.
Yeah,
Rural.
I just went there for the first time for Thanksgiving. But yeah, I didn't even have any phone service there. It's a lot of
So it's super weird that
It's super
three
creepy.
separate people
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
missing from this area.
And
from
they
this one
consider that
county.
like this area. Like that's like where we live still.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah.
still it's creepily close that
Our-
it makes you a little nervous.
Our news station covers things that happen in Stevens County
Yeah.
as well as Spokane County. So,
Basically on this side of Ellensburg.
but yeah, so just it's super, super weird.
They're all elders, aren't they? They're
Well,
all
so
like
it was
in their-
2 guys
61.
in their 60s and then a 35-year-old woman.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear her
But
age.
you know, kind of as we know, and I'm not saying that these people have been murdered. I'm not saying that there's a serial killer in Stevens County, even though I think it's super weird that 3 people have disappeared in and around kind of the same period of time. We do know that there are
Within only
some
3
people
months?
that don't
August and November.
Doyle
Both
in
November.
August, and then Melinda and Jake both disappeared in November. Something's going on. And again, like the fact that Melinda sent that message that she was like, if something happened to me, it's not an accident. Like the foreboding
Yeah.
feeling, and like I said, her mother is, you know, mother's intuition is that Melinda is deceased, and really at this point is just wanting somebody to come forward.
She just wants
and
answers.
She just wants answers.
Yeah.
She just wants to know where her daughter is, and I mean that's all of these people have, you know, are really
Family.
close with their families. You know, like
Guy
So,
is married with
is
kids
married,
and grandkids.
and so their families just want to know where these people are, and I definitely feel we all feel for them.
Was that a text message that she said if something happens to me?
It doesn't say who she sent it to. It just said that her mother also learned of a text message that Melinda apparently sent shortly before disappearing.
Okay. Three's a
So-
crime rule number 1, friends. If you think something is going to happen to you, do not tell somebody.
And please put who the person
But who the
is.
person
Yes.
is, their social security number, I don't
Give
care.
all
Any
the
kind of
info if you can.
information.
Yeah.
You always hear of the stories where oh god, I can't remember his name. I remember what he looks like. He was a redheaded kid that went missing, and his mom was on the phone with him, and it was really weird circumstances, and she was like, tell me what's wrong. Something's wrong. And he said, some stuff has happened. I'll tell you when I see you next. And then that was like 6 years ago, and he's never been seen again. Always
Yes.
tell people. Don't
Right.
ever say
Please.
we have to wait till it's in person. I will talk to you next time. Like,
Right, no.
if you ever listen to the Crime Junkie podcast, they have like their life rules, and I vote that is a life rule, along with the if I go missing file.
And your
Yeah.
6-hour rule.
That goes in my if I go missing file. Your
Yeah.
if I go missing file is your file of like if I go missing, Michael can get the phone records, but if for some reason he couldn't or didn't know the password, you have to get warrants to get that information, which can take like weeks. So if you have written down, this is my password, this is my bank information, because that's always the first thing that they'll check. But again, you
yeah,
have to
they
get a
want-
warrant
Get
to see if there's any.
Mm.
That way, in an hour, you can see if my bank cards have been used, if
Right.
I've driven my car,
Okay,
you know.
well, I know what I'm working on tonight.
They literally have, if you go to the Crime Junkie website, they have a packet called the If I Go Missing file, and you're supposed to keep it in your house until whoever.
Depressing and
Mhm.
brilliant all at once.
Yeah.
I have watched way too much
It's
Evil
too
Lives
much.
Here over the
Mhm.
past week. Thank
Mhm.
you, Lindsey, and Discovery Plus.
You're welcome.
I no longer trust people, children, men, mothers, fathers,
Nobody.
uncles, cousins. None of you. I trust
Lions,
none
tigers,
of you.
bears.
Oh
my.
my.
Everyone
No.
go on the Crime Junkie website and find your If I Go Missing folder. And also,
Yeah.
the whole rule of someone needing to be missing for 24 hours makes sense, but it also sucks. And so
Well-
this prevents that
Yes.
Yeah.
And
from
one of the-
happening.
And one of the other things, because again, I've been watching a lot of Evil Lives Here. One of the things that really sucks is that it's really, really hard to put out a missing persons on an adult.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because they're just like,
'Cause they're an
hey,
adult.
this person's an adult. If they want to disappear, they can disappear. And you're there like, no, you don't understand. Okay, well, we'll take a report. And I don't hate law enforcement. A lot of time I sound like I'm making fun of law enforcement. I'm not. The other thing that I learned from watching Evil Lives Here is that we
You're
do
not allowed to
not
watch that anymore.
we do not have the resources for parents when their children are like little psychos, like legit
Mm.
It's true. Yeah.
little baby sociopaths, because I watched way too many episodes of parents that were like, we got him into this program and they said he was too violent and kicked him out. There was one lady that with her son, and I mean, she had warned the school, she had warned the police, like something bad is going to happen and my son is going to be the cause of it. And they had put him into this like psychiatric facility and he had attacked like one of the counselors. And so they were like, you've got to give him, or you have to take him home. And the mom was like, no, like you are our last hope. We need help. And the woman was like, our advice, turn him over to the state and let them deal with it. And that was like their best advice for how to deal with this
Not
kid.
surprised.
Oh my
Who
God.
then, of course, went and killed a bunch of people.
How
Yep.
terrifying as
as-
a parent.
Yep.
I can't even imagine how scary. One more reason to not
You
have
know,
kids.
and like the kid wakes up, or the mom wakes up to, you know, her younger son screaming because this son is standing over the other son holding a knife.
Oh no.
And, you know, it's crazy because you hear lots of these stories where you kind of like, why didn't the parents get him help? Because the parents didn't have anywhere to go.
They didn't know what to do.
to
Yeah.
get help.
You probably don't know if you're like overreacting or if your kid is just a little dick bag. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Right.
I'd be like, is this like normal for teenage boys or is he like gonna kill people?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that's not an uncommon question for like teenagers. They fucking suck.
No, yeah. I mean,
You don't know
look,
what they're capable of.
I was
okay?
a complete brat. Yeah, I mean, they've got hormones and all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff. But these kids, like, there was clearly something wrong with them. And from like a young, like, they just, nobody knows what to do or how to stop it from happening. And so, lawmakers, if you're listening, be better. Do better, because
We need to be doing
these-
better
because everybody was just pushing
You're
off this problem until
the next person to
Yeah.
figure it out.
soapbox over.
I wanted to say really quick, when people go missing and adults go missing.
Yeah.
When I was watching a documentary about the case that I'm going to talk about, I had to pause it and I was like, do you realize that if I ever committed a crime, they would talk about me and say she has a history of depression and anxiety and she had been medicated for, and it would be like a huge part of like why I did what I did.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I was like, that kind of freaks me out a little because you see it and you're like, oh, and then I'm like, wait a second. That sounds like a normal person. That sounds like
Exactly.
me.
I mean,
It is a
anymore
normal
these
person.
days, like most people,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, with the lives that we lead and everything is
It's not
go, go, go,
uncommon.
and no,
No.
it's totally
it's
not
totally
uncommon.
and right. Yeah, you're right. Right now, it's like totally over
It's
the
rare
top. Tons
if
of
you're
people.
not
Yeah.
Right.
dealing with such issues.
Yeah.
Or people that it's like, you know, oh well, they were buying marijuana, but they try to use that as an an explanation for why the victim was in the
Like
position
saying
that they
Marilyn
were in.
Manson looked weird, and so it caused. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the same thing.
I shouldn't have judged Marilyn Manson by his cover, but
we
I'm
should
also
have in
not
the
shocked
end.
because he's a creeper.
Yes.
And I don't feel bad about that. But like, look at Bill Cosby, total creeper. And everybody for years thought he was America's dad because those are the scarier ones. The ones that don't look like, they drive a white van with no windows.
It's like motherfucking Woody. Goddamn it, Ellen.
I still need to watch
That's
that.
another thing for in the news. Lindsey and I have been watching Pharaoh versus Alan, or Alan versus Pharaoh.
I think it's
Alan versus Pharaoh. On HBO, and I've been a lifelong anti Woody Harrelson, not Woody Harrelson. Love Woody Harrelson.
A true good man.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's a good
love Woody Harrelson.
Yes.
This is like your Bryan Cranston of last time. Oh my god, no,
I
love
Woody Harrelson.
Love Woody Harrelson.
He's amazing.
Do not love Woody Allen, and he's
No.
always come off as a creeper to me, and I've never understood how he got Mia Farrow, who I think is beautiful in the first place.
She's so soft and sweet and
She
nice,
is soft
and
and
she I
sweet.
think she's naive and just
Yeah. Now, I have read that Moses has come out and said some things about her that are not particularly flattering.
Yeah, but
But-
honestly, I think he will do whatever Woody says because he
wanted that father figure.
Yes, he held Woody on such a high pedestal. I mean, everybody is saying one thing, but then randomly Moses is just saying. So
Yeah.
I know it's it's like
Custody
hard,
battles are always
But the thing
tough.
it upset me is people knew Woody was fucking gross forever,
Right.
and nobody did anything.
Well, it's like
Because
Michael
that's
Jackson.
just how it was.
That's
just how it was.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we can't do this anymore.
And that's
It's
the
not
other
okay.
thing is that I got really upset at watching. So I'm sorry if you guys haven't seen this yet, but here's a little tidbit.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, listening to all of these movie critics talk about him
Ugh.
and about how, kind of his trope is that like a lot of his movies are this like neurotic older guy dating a really young girl, like 16, 17 years old, and just saying that like, oh, it's so brilliant, everybody thinks he's so brilliant, and I'm like, and it's normalizes it, and I'm like, no, but that's not something that should be normalized. That's creepy and gross, and he is not an not that him being attractive would make a difference in any way, shape, or form, but like
But even that
isn't, he's not attractive. Like, I never
No.
bought those movies because I'm like, there's no way that a young Muriel Hemingway was the
Yeah.
one that was just like super in love and had this like
wanted
crazy
to
desire.
fuck all the time.
Yeah, for Woody Allen's character. No, I'm not buying it. Not buying what he's selling.
Not buying what he's selling.
But
Nope.
anyway,
Not when you
Yeah.
marry your child.
yeah,
Um,
it's super gross. Super gross.
It's amazingly done. It's very good. And it made me fall in love with Ronan Farrow. Oh, I love him.
I do love Ronan Farrow. Baby! Ah! Ma.
You did that. That was.
That's probably Rocket seeing the cat
All right.
for the 8th time in the day.
So the other day, I saw a guy walking down the street with a shovel, and I thought, maybe today it's gonna be the day that I get to call the police. But then nothing happened, and I just kept watching him, and then he just walked off into the wilderness with his shovel, and I don't know what the purpose was. He was literally just walking down the street with it.
Maybe he's going to the haunted house.
Maybe.
He's got things to do.
He has places to be with the shovel.
Maybe he took it from Oma.
And then I thought, where did he get it? Did he just go? Does he
He
live
got it-
nearby and he just walks down the street?
He got it from Oma.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Instagram at Three's a Crime, email us at threesacrime@gmail.com, listen wherever you get your podcasts. And to support Three's a Crime and our adventures, visit our link tree in our Instagram bio.